Hello, you beautiful people. My name's Casey Sports. Welcome back to the West Ham save. It's episode 35. And before we get into this game against United, of course, we've got Manchester United, then the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg against Chelsea. But there's been a huge amount of happenings, even in just a short amount of games we've played since. So we left off with this 1-0 win and we went on to play 4 more games. The next one was a 10-point rating from Petr Rakov, who scored a hat-trick, 2 early goals. Brunani, Echeverri and Torres would also get within the goals. And that was such a concise and perfect performance. We would then beat Bournemouth 2-1, Fulham 3-0, and we had an amazing month up until then, which had gotten us into very close peckings with top of the table Liverpool. And 8 minutes in, Mohamed Kudus scored, and the gap between us and top position was marginal at best. But McAllister would score, and Tapsoba would make it 2-1 63 minutes in, and I was panicking. And it would take all the way until the 95th minute for Fabinho to score a penalty and would finally equal things up. And between these goal scores, you see Fabinho with 2 there. He picked up another one in the 3-0 victory over Fulham. And that goal there, he would actually get Player of the Month with 6 appearances and 4 goals, outdoing Chilwell and Alan Brown Haaland. And we would get Manager of the Month for a very, very solid little month here. So, in terms of the league table, this is where we sit, 5th place. We are 7 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand, and all these teams above us. If we're victorious over Manchester United by 3 goals or more, we will get into that top 4 spot. But akin to last season, it's a very tight title race with 7 points dividing 1st and 6th, and only 6 points dividing 6th and 2nd. So absolutely a whole lot more to play for here in the second half of the season. Of course, the Champions League has not changed. But we have had complaints. Kudus and Bowen both unhappy at the squad wanting to play more games, and they are 2 very integral parts of our dynamics. So I told Bowen no, and he's wanted by a couple teams. I don't necessarily want to sell unless I'm getting good money. We got a £25 million offer from Bournemouth, I believe it was. We said no to that. Kudus, I also said no to, but the whole squad revolted when I said no to Mohamed Kudus. So he has forced his way into the left-hand side, and it completely makes sense. He is one of our best players, and he is our highest paid player still. From a few years ago, we gave him that brand new contract, and you'll see the wages are a lot higher than they were at the time. But yeah, Kudus still our number 1 paid player, Ferguson second. So the fact neither of them were in the first team, I can understand why the squad would have been disconcerted. So Kudus now is our starting left winger over Gonçalo Borges, which may have affected our game against United, but I'm hoping we can keep this on. And one thing I do want to do is Wood-Prowse is not going on a free deal, so didn't even notice this. Let's offer him a brand new deal very quickly. You're not going to be a box midfielder, you're our new right back. And if I can get him for like 145 grand, it's not a bad deal at all with the current wage structure. How about 150? Okay, well, he gets 165 grand a week. But this is a squad. It is exactly how you'd expect. Victor Christensen, Torres, Diamante, Tadibo, Ward-Prowse, Vert, Fabinho, Kudus, Brunani and Rakov, with of course Trubin in goal. We face Manchester United. I'm a little bit more confident in this one than we were against Liverpool, as United actually sit in 7th place, 2.2 league positions beneath us, with Everton being the dividing squad there. And as you can see from that team talk, if you had a quick glance at it, our team, great form, great morale. United under Didier Deschamps with 4 draws and 1 loss in their last 5 games, and you can kind of see why. Mount McKennie as a double pivot is not something you want to see in Manchester United squad. And that back line, of course, we beat them not too long ago in that initial Carabao Cup game, And we saw that this kind of tactic does work very well. As here is Florian Wirtz, Rakov, and it falls through to Mohamed Kudus. And he can score. And he gets his 4th goal of the season, 12 minutes in. We're 1-0 up. And maybe Kudus was right to force himself into the squad, as that is a great goal. We struggled to finish in that game in the Carabao Cup. This time, though, Rakov with a run, Varane's tackle let it run through. And a beautiful goal. 1-0 up, only a few minutes in. Let's see if we can hold this. Unlike the game against United, against Liverpool, where we threw this 1-0 lead away, I want to see if we can build on this and have a very good game. As this tactic is definitely starting to kick into gear, but I'm well aware that we're going to need a backup one towards the end of the season when teams start to figure this out. Christensen fans, Rakov at the back post, a good save by David Raya. And I do actually have an idea in my head for what that tactic can be. There's the option, of course, of the 4-4-2, the 4-3-3. Maybe something a little different is brewing in my mind. We'll have to see. But for right now, this is a great performance, and you can see the whole team is definitely rallying behind each other, and the squad feels so together. So we're definitely doing well. 4 points behind Liverpool. You can see how tight this table is. And the first half will end with us leading by 1-0. Look at this. The entire squad are just so up for it. But can we kick on? Can we get another goal? I don't want to sit on a 1-0 against a team like United. I want to go for second. But of course, there's definitely the feeling that maybe we have to sit a little deeper. Christensen does well intercepting. He's not been in the squad much. I know he's played very well, but I think now's the time for Christensen to start breaking back in with a lot of key games. Hoyland fans, Rashford, who has a slight injury, but it won't matter. A lovely goal, and it is 1-1. Maybe I should have dropped the midfielders deeper. I wanted to stick with this, and that's not great. 50 minutes in, it's back to 1-1, but an immediate highlight from the kickoff to Debo, Wirtz, Kudus, Christensen. I think we're at our best when we are controlling the game. So, that did not look like a foul at all, but Chris Kavanagh believes that's a penalty. Looked to me a very good tackle. Kudus feigning an injury. And VAR will check this. I don't think a penalty is going to be given. Oh, it is. Kudus fouled by McKennie, and it will be James Ward-Prowse, not Fabinho, to take this. He missed in the... Oh, he scores down the middle. I couldn't even talk. 2-1. That is great, and I'm going to make some changes. So, Wirtz and Fabinho are going to drop deeper, but I'm going to swap Wirtz and Kudus and Banani. So, Kudus on the right, Wirtz on the left, and Ruben Neves is going to come here. Wirtz is right-footed, Kudus left. So you can see exactly why I'm thinking that. Sorry about the coughing there. I hope that wasn't like horrible down your ears. I tried to look away from the mic as much as I could. 2-1, 52 minutes in. So we've sat back a little bit more. We're going to go cautious yet again and try and stick with a much more defensive concept here. We're looking good as things continued on. 65, 66. The minutes beginning to tick away. Kudus struggling with fitness, and I think it is fair. Let's bring on Jared Bowen and Evan Ferguson. I think those are two very smart substitutions. Still got two more in the bag if needed. Leo Ørstegård has came on. Victor Lindelof playing at right back. Feels like United have gone more defensive than anything. And with just a few minutes left, now is the time to start making those last couple of changes. Ben Johnson's going to come on as a supporting fullback alongside Christensen, and Fabinho is going to stay on, but Gonçalo Borges to replace Florian Wirtz on that left wing, so we can be a bit better on the counter-attack, a little bit more direct. This game's starting to really tick away, and this could be a very good 2-1 victory here over Manchester United, and it will be. That is huge for morale, for form, for everything. That's a great, great win. And now we look forward to Chelsea, who we've beat 1-0. We've beat United twice now. We drew to Liverpool in a tough but very fair game. And with a whole transfer window now to try and improve before the second leg, this next game is going to be so important to see what may need changing, or do we stick with what we know. Chelsea away in that first leg, the 5th of January. I'll see you there. So before we can even get to the Chelsea game, there's an issue here between our 3 team leaders, Souček, Prowse and Bowen. And Ward Prowse is having a go at me, our team captain, saying, hey, how come we haven't figured something out here with Jab Bowen? Now, for those not wondering why we spent £100 million bringing in Brunani, because Bowen was inconsistent. Though at his best, he was probably our top player. But I think we're going to have to promise. If you look at all the rest, I could, for example, say the positive atmosphere, because the atmosphere is positive even just within this meeting. Definitely don't want to dismiss. I think we're going to just have to agree, keep these players happy, keep the whole squad happy. And I'm going to have to try and rely on kind of very good, and Brunani's actually happy with that. I'm going to have to try and rely on kind of swapping these players around and trying to make sure things stay at a decent level. And you can see Leicester here. We want to sign Bowen. This is the exact type of deal where I maybe could do, because we could sign a huge player for that. But I'm going to disagree, and the player who I actually think is going to be sold will be Naif Aguirre, if we can get a little bit of money for that. So that's my plan, is we can sign basically one player. We can sign if we sell, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking Aguirre and McTominay, if I can try and sell those 2 players. And obviously I'm gutted to try and sell McTominay, but he's the type of player who we definitely do need to get rid of, because he's just not playing, and I can really change around this squad here. Because what I want to do is I want to have 2 tactics which basically fluctuate between this and something more traditional and more controlling, because we are very good in possession. So I want to be able to flip between tactics so that no one, like, you don't basically figure out my squad once I get to kind of March and I can't change things, and this tactic starts getting figured out like we've seen in previous seasons, and when we're able to swap things around. So one of the first things I want is a new right back, and I also want to try and strengthen another position, but I'm not sure what that is. So I'm thinking if we can get rid of McTominay and Aguirre, we can do that. Anel Ahmedozich is wanted more on the transfer side, and we would get more money for him. So it's possible maybe we sell both these centre-backs and try and bring someone in, but I'll have to have a look at who's available. Of course, £8 million is a great amount, but we don't exactly have a ton of money in the wages. So once you start bouncing them 2 around, we don't have as much as it looks. But for example, Cameron Carter-Vickers is a very solid player. If I were to sell even Toomey, I'm a big fan of Toomey, he's not bad. Adam Webster, we've seen at Brighton, be very good. So, for example, I could bring him in, maybe Mary Demiral, who is probably a bit more towards what I'd like. So £40 million, and I could bring Demiral in. And within doing that, I would kind of keep my team the same, but I'd have more money from selling to try and invest in the rest. So maybe it is time to sell Anel Ahmedozich on. We can get a lot of money for him. And 17.5 million. So I can sell Ahmedozich and bring in Mary Demiral. I think that's going to be my first plan. Basically just a little bit of manoeuvring around with pieces. And hopefully I can find someone within the squad who's a very good right back. Like kind of that Trent Reece-James style. And I think that will really flip this team on its head if I can do that. So we'll be back for the semi-finals if nothing else happens. But I'll see you then. Okay, so we're back for this game against Chelsea. Quickly before we get into this, Ahmedozich, Aguirre and McTominay all had transfer offers in. Al-Saad, Aguirre is kind of talking to whoever he feels like. and Anel from Newcastle and Ali. So a lot of besides Lazio, it's purely and PSV. But the only people who've paid money for us besides Lazio are Saudi-owned companies. Clubs. Why do I ever call them companies? But here's this game now. I'm going to stick with Bunani for right now on that right-hand side. I'm going to stick with the exact same team that we just beat Manchester United with. I am going to be giving Bowen game time, but this one is far too important to not start Bunani, at least for now. Chelsea versus West Ham, one of the biggest games I've had in a while. And I'll be honest, my heart is definitely pumping. Their squad very good. Lavia and Caicedo, very strong double pivot. Chalobah at right back, maybe their only issue, but they've got a very tall, very powerful squad. Sterling, who's someone I've looked at signing, makes it 1-0. Not even 10 minutes in, Raheem Sterling makes it 1-0 for Chelsea. Is it going to be a tale as old as time? 4 years in, and we continue to bottle it when it matters most? Surely not. Chilwell swings this one in, headed away there by Diamande, falls to Leo Labada. And Nick Jackson now, very scared. I thought that might be a penalty. Chilwell driving in, just wide of the post. 2 big chances there from Chelsea quite early on. That's such a good front line. Really good. The whole squad is so good here from Chelsea. You can tell how much money they've got. Chilwell again with a corner. In. Diamande up to Debo, kind of away. Diamande fully away. Sterling beaten to the ball by Ward-Prowse. The 2 England internationals competing. Levi Colwill, a third. Now finds Chilwell, who is fighting for his spot. Nick Jackson heads just over the bar from basically the goal line. Very fortunate Nick Jackson's still their leading striker. Chalobah, Nkunku, Abada. Jesus Christ, this whole team, and they are just piling the pressure on us right now. What do you do to answer this? Diamande, lovely interception. Rakov finds Bunani on this right hand side. Let's see what he can do. He's fighting to keep his spot. Bunani in, looks for Rakov at the back post, and it's 1-0. Lovely, very belated 1-2 there between Rakov and Bunani. That's exactly why they're in the squad. £19.5 million. Petr Rakov continues to prove to be one of my best signings of this save. Lovely work there by Bunani. Crosses it in on that weaker right foot, and it's great movement there by Petr Rakov at the back post. 1-0, and suddenly things aren't all that scary. But we definitely need to be aware Chelsea have been dominant this first half an hour. We got a lucky counter-attack, and more than willing to admit that. Christensen now finds Kudos. Vert with a beautiful ball over the top. We couldn't quite win it, but Florian Vert is there yet again, and he has a lot of options. Finds Bunani, beats his man Bunani, and it's 2-1. A goal and assist there from Badruddin Bunani. Huge moment as we do take the lead for the first time here. 2-1, pretty much dead on the 38th minute. Beautiful little bit of work there by Vert, but it's all about this turn, and he just drives past that pace. Is exactly why I thought he would be such a great signing, and he's shown that both goals coming from his speed. Chilwell now looking to prove himself on the offensive side. Abada at the back post, and it's 2-2. This game is a all-out firefight. Sorry about that. An all-out firefight as Leo Abada appears at the back post there. Chilwell, Caicedo, that's a lovely cross. And you definitely want more out of Pau Torres or Christensen, whoever that was there at the back post. But 2-2 at half time, I'll definitely take that away at Stamford Bridge. I want to try and keep some of this though going into the second half. If we can get another goal or two, that would be huge. It's going to be us starting with it. Trubin launches it forward. Lavia's there. Abada, Nick Jackson, great tackle there, but falls right back to Chelsea. It's all about Leo Abada right now, and it's 3-2. Well, there's definitely a couple of things we need to do, and they're pretty obvious. It's all about Leo Abada, so we need to make sure he's getting pressed a lot more. probably wouldn't tight mark, but we're going to have to. And in the tactics, I'm going to move you to be just like traditional attacking fullback, so they might be a bit more defensive on these wider areas. And I think Kudish is going to maybe come off, but for right now I'm going to stick with him. 3-2 Chelsea. We saw in the first half that we can overcome an early goal. Christensen, Kudish, lovely ball, Chalobah's just there. Abada, Lunan, I feel like their team's so perfectly built to overcome us. Caicedo, nice football, but Christensen, that's a great interception. And that's exactly one. Christensen just stopping Abada getting any touch of the ball. Chilwell launches it forward to Debo, wins the header, but Chelsea are maintaining possession here. Caicedo and Kunku, I'm going to bring Borges on, I have to. We need more offensive threat. Abada, great block, and just over the top, but that was all Leo Abada. More so, going to bring Christensen off for Aït-Nouri, who's a little bit better defensively. So a double change on that left hand side to try and stop there. Not even right hand side, just Abada. He has been the complete difference factor. Going to make a couple more changes. Bunani has no fitness, he's going to come off. And Wirtz, who also struggling with fitness, is going to come off for Ben Johnson. What will this change, if anything? 3-2 here, not long left. Gonna go a bit more attacking. Gonna bring Ward-Prowse off. We don't really have too many options, but we have ideas, which is a traditional, well, not at all traditional, but something of a traditional 4-4-2 with, because I don't know, maybe you do bring McTominay on, but I'm going to bring Evan Ferguson on as an advance forward, and I'm going to step Torres up. So 2 ball-playing defenders with Torres and Fabinho in the midfield. So it would look something like that. Clear, very clear idea. It's not at all hidden. Of just having 2 strikers up top. Seeing what we can do. We're going to go very attacking. I obviously don't want to throw away just a 1-goal deficit. But if we can equal things up. And Bowen has the ball in. Pau Torres. And it hits off the post. That is a killer. That really could have been the moment. And it's going to end 3-2 to Chelsea. It's not the worst result, but we really could have done a lot better. I want to definitely look through the stats. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to kind of unwind. What would you change? That's the thing. I'm kind of thinking what to change. So you look at the match stats. They're getting a lot of really good chances, but after that change, tactically, we did well, but we weren't threatening all too much. I think that is the right idea, though. What we had is just stick with the same kind of concept, but try and neutralise their wingers a bit more, because that was definitely the Leo Abada show. Yeah, he was unbelievable. 8.5 match rating, 2 goals. Complete difference factor. And Roberto De Zerbi, who we've been having a bit of a quarrel with over the press conferences, and I want to say something. The same on good terms. Wagfinger, I don't like him. I want to get in his head. He played very... Talk about Leo Abada if you're going to talk about anyone, not Sterling. But we do have a second leg, obviously in about a month's time. But before then, we have the Champions League. So thank you all. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode. And if you've got any ideas on the best way to overcome this very good Chelsea side, please tell me. A couple of my ideas involve the midfield, trying to overload them, playing a little bit less direct, a little bit more possession based, whatever you might think. But I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.